Hey guys, it's Mike here. Today I just want to show you how to convert motion capture data to keyframes. Just want to show you real quickly how to do this. And so here I've imported a motion caption sequence onto this girl, and then I added a rig, simple rig to her body, right? And now I want to get in there and edit her wrist movements, but I don't want to really lose any of this current motion that's happening. So basically what we're gonna do is you can use control and the scroll wheel, or shift and the scroll wheel, but control in the scroll wheel will help you see these curves better. So basically I just want to select the hand, right? And now I'm only seeing the information for the hand, and you might also want to just go through and look at the position curves, or go through and look at the rotation curves, or you can just do everything at once. I'll just look at the position curves by just right here shift selecting only ones that say position. And basically what we want to do is identify the peaks and the valleys here. So looking at these curves down here, we can see it goes in and out, and there's peaks and valleys. So we don't want to add keyframes everywhere, but if we add keyframes on the main areas, it's basically going to capture that movement to a keyframe, and then we can edit it nicely. So right about here, I'm going to add a keyframe, and you just hit M on your keyboard, and that adds it. Right here I'm going to add a keyframe. You'll notice once I added that second keyframe, this area right here is now interpolated instead of the existing motion. So you can see there's the original motion, and now there's the interpolated motion, and visually it looks pretty similar. So about there's good, and look when it starts. Also, you can visually look at things. So basically we want her hand there until it reaches out. So right about there, it's a good place. Hit M. Look how far it reaches out to. Right about there is a good place. And now it's going to lift up right there, and then lower. It's about right there. It's going to pull back, and we're going to say about right there. And then right before it extends out, we want to add a keyframe. If we don't, it'll interpolate and be really weird. So even though it's sort of the same position, we're going to add another keyframe right there. And then it extends out. So right there, when it's at the end of its extension, hit M, and then raises up. So right there, and about right there. And moving between the frames, you can either click your mouse on the slider and drag it, which I find pretty easily, or you can on the keyboard you can hit these brackets here to play backwards and forwards. So those are just the brackets right next to the M key, or you can also use the arrow keys to go a frame forward or a frame back. You can also use the up and down arrows to go to the beginning and the end of your shot. But yeah, I'll just continue using the dragging method. So right there and about right there. It's a good spot for it. You'll see these mostly end up matching up to where these curves are. Helps to look basically at both the curve and the visual. Basically you want keyframes at the end peak of a motion, right? So it's at, so right before it transitions is where you want a keyframe. So yeah, use the curves, visually look at it, and identify where the keyframes should be. So right there. Just add one right here and then drop it. And right here, she's basically supposed to be, her pants are on fire and she's patting it out. Looks really weird as a motion capture. I might just hand animate most of that. I'll just really quickly, just using the curves here, add a bunch of keyframes. And then I can just go through and tweak those to make it look better. As you can see right here, I'm not even really looking at it. I'm just adding the keyframes to the peaks and the valleys there. And there, now we have that whole part for our arm is now keyframes instead of motion capture data. And if we just select something else like that, select some random model, watch it now. That motion looks pretty much the same as it did, and now we got keyframes on our hand, so we can go back in there now and we can start tweaking stuff. We can adjust timing, adjust the positions of each keyframe, and really make that look a lot better and fit our scene better. Thanks for watching.